Welcome everyone back to Grow Your Faith. I'm Michael Chestnut here with my co-host Pat Milligan, and we're getting this thing started off fresh with the new year. And Pat, I want to hand it over to you. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about adversity. You know, it seems like adversity is one thing that just struck. Myself and you, Mike. I've been in and out of the hospital. You have, and and adversity is troubled times. That can be troubled time for a Christian. Just the devil's trying to get us off track and so on. And definitely, I think that he's tried to do that, but we are too strong uh, to let that happen in our life. And then also troubled times when people have troubled times in their life, and just in things that they do, I seem like nothing's going right. And I just wanted to just give a couple verses today to start this New Year's off because I think that you can have victory over troubled times and so on. In Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2, says, when thou pass through the water, I will not be burned. And though through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When I walketh through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. But that means everything we go through, there's a reason for it, and right now we might not know the reason, but there is a reason why you go through it, and I'm telling you, keep going on for God. Remember, stay in God's presence. God's presence is so important. You think about he talks about this. Teach them to observe all things whatsoever I command you, and lo, I'm with you always, even to the ends of the earth. Matthew 28:20. And he says he's with us no matter what. I mean, remember through those times you had to sit close to him. Uh, I tell you, the other day I asked my wife. I said, I why am I going through all this stuff that I'm going through? It seems like a lot of physical stuff, but as I look at it, I look back, I have to say that I'm in better shape now than I was then. But I asked my wife that the other day, and she said, Pat, there's a reason for everything. And you need to realize that God has control of it. And if God has control of it, it makes a big difference. And you don't need to blame God for your difficulties because God has those things in mind. You know, I personally, uh, I have a tough time when I see a couple walking down the street and the guy has no problems just walking. Today, I have a hard time walking, but I have to remember that's what God has for me. He has a reason for where I'm at today, and it's just because, and even if it's this, if it's even that I'm in this way because where my family's at, then I thank God for my family. I told my wife and I were talking today. We have three boys that love God. We have we have three boys she said that loves you and loves me, you know, and not that we hadn't had difficult times with them, but God has blessed them and everything that they do. If anything happens in our life, they're there. They're right there for us and so on. And I'm saying to you today, as my thought today, is stay in God's presence. Stay with Him. Don't go sidetracked. If you feel like going that way, hey, just ask God to help you in everything that you do. That's my thoughts for you today as we start this new year, that we can click adversity in our life.
Man, I resonate with that. Pat knows. The audience probably doesn't know, but since October, I have had some major health issues with my back and everything. And, there's times, man, I just like, God, what are you doing? Also, what have I done, to be in this situation and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, but thank God for great doctors, things like that. But God also, uh, he was moving and working some things, other things out during that time period um, that were a blessing, right? And then just
Right.
just as things are getting better, than over the weekend, this weekend, I ended up in the hospital, had a severe stomach uh virus going on that just,
Oh,
man, it was horrible, you know. Um, it is so easy to just have a pity party, so easy to want to quit,
right,
you know, to throw in the towel. Um, but our church right now, we're going through a fast, and during this fast, I'm really praying for more guidance, but I'm already seeing today what God is doing, you know, and it's bigger and better. And, um, you know, so I, I, we all face adversities, different ways, different forms. And the toughest part is just to try and rely on God, knowing God is in
right,
control of the
right,
situation and that there's a purpose. One of the things that I had to get rid of was some thinking that I was taught growing up, and a lot of times was if you were sick or this, it was, you know, this was due to sin in your life or something like that. That's not
nice.
true. You
Oh, that's
know,
right.
we all face adversity. Look at the men of the Bible who face illnesses and adversity, and you look at Job, and you know, just don't give up. Don't give up. And
Right,
I think it's also important that in those adverse times when you're going through them and it's hard to keep your faith and things going on, is to have close ties with other Christian brothers who are there to help you see truth
right.
and help raise you up during that time period. Pat, thank you again. It's so good to see you.
You
And
too.
I'm looking forward to next week. And until
Okay.
next time, just keep growing your faith. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Grow Your Faith podcast with Pat Milligan and Michael Chestnut, your weekly dose of encouragement from God's Word. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And we'll see you next week right here on Grow Your